Cheers, Guzzlers. I fancy a jacket potato. And, well, I can't have jacket potato with butter in, which I really like. A, because I'll put so much in it, and B, far too much saturated fat. And I'm still on this bit of a health thing at the minute. So instead, we're going to have it with a healthy Gorgonzola yoghurt dressing. Now I say healthy, obviously the Gorgonzola, or in our case actually we're going to use Roquefort, that is probably the highest in terms of fat and calories part of this. Okay, we don't count the calories in the potato, by the way. So we're going to be making effectively a lowish fat dressing to go on these jacket potatoes. So crispy baked potatoes with Gorgonzola yoghurt dressing. I've got about half to a cup of water, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of salt. Now, before anybody goes, oh, that's not very healthy, is it? At the end of the day, you certainly wouldn't want that amount of salt. But what this is for is to coat the outsides of the potatoes. So, for some reason at the moment in the UK, this is the second lot of jacket potatoes I've bought, baking potatoes, and they used to be enormous. And, well, that's the biggest one, and that's almost like 2 potatoes in it. So what we're going to do, I've scrubbed these, is I'm now just going to prick this all over. I'm going to do the same with the others. Now you want your oven preheated to 215. I don't know what's going on in my oven at the minute, it's not behaving itself. I'm really struggling to get up temperature. It wasn't that long ago, if you remember, I had to get a new oven. Probably longer ago, I thought. So anyway, we're just going to do that all over, and then what we do in that salt water, I can't remember if I started, I don't think I finished. The idea of this is this will give the outside of the skins a little bit more crispiness. I did sound doubtful the first time I tried it, when I read it, and I thought, yeah, but it worked. Now you can, at the end of the baking, if you want for the last 15 minutes or so, do the customary sort of brush it with oil, just to make the skins look a bit shinier and crispier, but we didn't last time. So now I'm going to take those potatoes, put them straight onto the rack, and they're now going to bake in that hot oven for up to an hour. So after about 50 minutes we will then prepare the dressing. So I'm going away for 50 minutes, but obviously I'll be straight back as far as you're concerned. So what we're going to start doing is preparing the dressing. Now this might seem rather a big bowl, but the first thing we've got to do, I told you 60 grams of that cheese, is we want to basically crush it up. Now that's been kept in the fridge. I know there's a debate whether you should keep cheese in the fridge, but certainly cheese like that I think you should do, but it's been out a good few hours. Okay, so I've lightly mashed that together, and then into that we're going to put 60 grams of zero fat Greek yogurt. I want red wine, white wine, or in this case apple cider vinegar, about half a tablespoon of that. In that goes. Olive oil, about half a tablespoon of that. In that goes. Now, I said to you, you could brush, at this stage, you know, you could brush some oil over your potatoes. We're not doing that. Okay. And then I've got some garlic. And we're just going to put that in there. And then the final thing I've got is here a small bunch of chives, which I'm just going to finely chop that. I've probably got too much here actually. Look at this. You want about a tablespoon of that. Now, I've been growing some broccoli sprouts from seed because they're very good for you. So I've just trimmed them, and we're just, you could chuck them in here, but we're not. I'm just going to put them as a little bit of a dressing on there. So just going to put those in there, and that then will be our dressing. Now, I said to you, we've actually got 4 potatoes in there. The recipe is for 2 jacket potatoes, but because they're quite small, we're having 2 each. But this is still the same quantity for 2 jacket potatoes. Now, you can see there's not a lot there, but that is partly because one of the goals of this is to keep it low fat. Okay, now again, if you were going to do this as a Weight Watchers meal, a jacket potato, 0 points. That dressing on 1 serving, i.e. 1 jacket potato, or in our case 2 jacket potatoes, but because they're not, you know what I mean, but half of that dressing, 5 points. So your jacket potato with that cheese dressing, 5 points. So just going to do a little clean up, and then it'll be time to check our potatoes. Now I've got my thermometer there. We want it down, oh, not down to it, we want the inside to be about 99 Celsius. So that's my potatoes out. Let's just check. And that's coming up getting there. I did check one earlier. So fraction under, but that will do me. So I'll tell you what, they're enough sweet, those ones. The mess they left in that oven. So I'm just going to divide these 2 up, and then what we want to do is slice them open while they're still hot from the oven. I'm using my cheap fishing knife, and just open them up, and where they can get a, just fluff them insides before we put the dressing. You can see here, actually perhaps I should have kept that below on. These are nice and done inside. Skins are nice and hard. Now, some people like skins, some people don't like skins. Skins are very good for you, loads of fibre in there. I should certainly be eating my skins. The only drawback is normally I like these absolutely dripping in butter. But we're not doing that. So we're just going to have to rely on that dressing. Now there's one final thing I've got to do to that dressing before, wow. Before I doing it with it, we're just going to add a little bit of salt. We're going to add some black pepper, and I'm just going to mix that in and then distribute that evenly over those potatoes. I've just about got out everything I can out of there. Obviously splitting it over 4 like that, but having said that, if that was a big potato, it probably wouldn't, the surface area wouldn't be much different. Let's try it. The cheese, very strong. Look at it. Now, I said to you, I'm just going to add a little bit of these as a, I was going to do it as a garnish on the side, but I think I might just add some of these to the top. Now, if you don't know about broccoli sprouts, go and find out about them. Very, very good for you. So, here we go. Let's just try a little bit of potato, a bit of that dressing, put some sprouts there. Going to be, you know. That potato, melt in your mouth, nice and soft. That nice strong blue cheese tang. If you don't like blue cheese, you won't like this, but I love it. Sprouts just like you can cress, but there you go. A nice, low fat, heart healthy, low point Weight Watchers, crispy baked potatoes with a Gorgonzola Yoghurt dressing, and then a very high point glass of wine.